Alright, so JJK content's gonna start becoming a bit more regular. I was taking a little break for a couple of reasons. I had some stuff to take care of IRL that were really important. But also I got a new PC and I had to set that all up and it was very complicated, but here we are now. And for the first video I'm making in the game and also just talking more as a discussion, this is a complete discussion video to keep in mind. I want to talk about my expectations for 2025 JJK. And let's not act like the game is perfect. It is not, right? It is not. But I do want to make sure it's known. This might be a surprise. I genuinely like the game. I've been playing Dokkan since year one, and it gives me a very similar vibe to Dokkan, with a couple of modern aspects, but there's other aspects that just do not hold up. But I do plan to continue playing this game, at least as a side game, as Bleach Soul Resonance comes out and 7 Deadly Sins Origin comes out. Those are the two main games for now I'm going to play. If an Omniscient Reader gacha comes out, I will definitely play that. I feel like it will. I have a small feeling. Very similar vibes to Solo Leveling. We'll see. I really hope for Omniscient Reader to get like a game, hopefully a gacha, because I really want to just gacha that shit out. But for JJK, there's a lot of points that we need to talk about. Some, I discuss a lot. I do not act like this game is perfect. Whenever we're talking about shit that comes out, I always like to talk about these things. But these are the main things I need to be addressed in 2025. So here goes. Number one is mission-based content needs to become regular and more challenging in a similar way to Dokkan. Okay, so Global gets a lot of missions, right? If we check, for example, right now, time limited, I haven't been logging in because, like I said, UPC was doing stuff IRL. But like if we consume AP, do cursed objects, enhancement quests, I don't know when this one came out, but I feel like it was recent. It might have been with the story. It gives some cubes and some good rewards. I think it's like maybe 400 or 500 cubes. It's not a lot, but they do spam that shit quite often, right? For JJK 0, they did 4 different parts. We maybe got like a good 15 to 2,000 extra cubes that JP did not get. But I want different shit. I've already talked about it in other videos, but this is my biggest point, which is why I keep on bringing it up, because I want you guys to also bring it up, right? Bring it up in the Discords, right? I think it's a really good idea because Dokkan does it. And in Dokkan, basically, for example, there's categories. Maybe you need to bring in Majin Buu Saga to X Battle, and it's tough as hell, right? Or artificial life forms. I remember that stage. Was it versus Beast Gohan? I remember The Truth did like a 6-part series because you couldn't clear it. I want shit like that. I don't know about y'all, but when, for example, when I was trying to clear floor 45 on JP, 1-hour video, I follow it up, a bunch of people watched it. I genuinely think that having content that's difficult or just changing up the same content, one line of text, bring 3 blues in, or for example, only use 5 ultimates, or for example, use Nobara in X fight, or don't use Gojo in X fight, is a free way to make new content, right? It's free. It literally does not require much besides a bit of coding to get that shit in game. So I really think mission-based content is such an easy thing that they're not taking advantage of, and it makes me pissed. Okay, it does. It really does. I really don't think I'm crazy for finding this is like the freest shit that they could do, but instead it's like, oh yeah, I just use AP. They could get creative with it, and it literally, I'm telling you, I could plan out a full year's worth of mission-based content in a day. If they gave me a day, I could plan out a full year's of mission-based content that would make the game so much more fresh, right? So much more fresh. Now, number 2, I want us to get tower content more regularly, because if they're only releasing 10 floors for anniversary, they were 10 very good floors, right? But why not release them every 3 months, right? Power creep is getting so crazy that we are, especially with the new, bro, not only are our units being able to now just absolutely sweep tower, but we're getting a new power system in January, end of January, that's going to make our units even stronger. So Sukuna is going to wipe the whole fucking tower. So if they bring out more tower floors that are more difficult, that's going to be great. It's a long-term goals that I love in gacha games, right? I've been saying this since day one. If you guys watch my content at all, you know I'm not lying about that. I love it. I keep on bringing how I love tower floors that are difficult. It's a very nice feeling. But if it's not tower, just bring out new content that's difficult. Right? And I do not think the new thing coming in January is going to be difficult, because that seems to be tied towards the power-up mode, or the new power-up system. And if it's tied towards a new power-up system, I don't think it's going to be something long-term that we could see being difficult. Because if you're supposed to level up every unit, I'd imagine you have to like actually like take a lot of time out of your day just to try and level up every single unit. I feel like that's a bad system. Like, you can't tie a new power-up system. Like, imagine leveling up your skills took, like, doing domain investigation took, I don't know, like 30 minutes a day. Imagine. That would be too much. It would, in my opinion. So they have to make actual difficult content that isn't tied towards a new power system, or just make new tower floors. Like 10 every 3 months should not be that hard. It really shouldn't. They got more money from the global side. Please do it, right? Please do it. Now, next up, I need them to continue releasing free-to-play units. This goes for JP and global, but it should not be that deep. It really shouldn't. I don't think so, at least. I don't think so, at least. Like, genuinely, just like, give us a Dagon. Maybe like 2 free-to-play units a year. Or even 1 is fine. Because those free-to-play units are like literally top 15 contenders. Nanami's a top 15 contender. Mahito is a top 10 unit. It's like these free-to-play units are busted. The next one could be also really good, which I love. So even 1 free-to-play unit a year is enough for this game. Because it's not in a game like Dokkan where power creep is so quick. This game has slow-ass power creep. Right? And Hanami, a day 1 unit, a day 1 free-to-play unit, is still viable, which is insane. Now, next up, Global continues to get more global exclusive rewards, such as mission and logins. For example, we got an extra 1,500 cubes from the Night Parade, right? And then we got this cumulative login pass, another 1,000. But if we check here, the Night Parade, the missions, right? This gave 1,200. No, sorry. We got a good amount of tickets with 300, but that wasn't it, right? That was not all we got, because we also had the login bonus, which was another 1,200. So it's like these things that are not on JP, we need more of. But then it's like, oh, new story chapter. We didn't get this on JP, but we got it here, where we're getting, I don't know, I think it was like 500 cubes. How much is it? I don't know what is and what isn't part of it, because they didn't necessarily state what exactly was part of it in the announcements. But more AP packs, more cubes, all this stuff is really good, and it's just extra. So it's like, we gotta realize that, yeah, we're getting a bit more than JP. But guys, the problem is JP was also really shit, right? JP is really shit. JJK Phantom Parade is just a very like malconstructed gacha game, and people don't realize that. It's like, yeah, we're saying like we're barely getting any cubes. Bro, it was even worse in JP. If you could believe it, it was even worse, right? Because we are only losing out on 10,000 cubes in a year, but Global's already making more than up for it by giving us new missions and logins. We're probably up compared to JP, because JP, it's not like they like, sure, it basically only hurt pay to wins, because if you think about it, free to plays are only losing out on dailies, but how much do dailies give? Oh, that's right, 30 cubes. So if you think about it, we're barely losing out on cubes. It's just, the problem is, it's such a shitty system that it's already bad, and then, oh wow, now we're spamming units, so it feels even worse. But JP also had it bad, because what, between banners they might get like 3,000, 6,000 cubes, but it's not like you could really get pity for a lot of these things. So it's just bad all around, and we just need more missions to kind of alleviate that more, right? That's basically it. I might even make a full video on it, but it's like, we're really not in a better situation to JP, no matter how people say it, because we're probably up on cubes. It's just, obviously, we're losing out on about 10,000 cubes a year because of us going 2 times as quick in general. But then we're making up for it by getting new missions, new logins, etc. Right? Want to make sure that's known. Now, Pity Transfer needs to either come on HI, or right after HI, right? I think we could all agree, if it doesn't come in February, it's not going to be too good. I personally think February is not a reach. I really think it should be in February. It would not make sense anytime after February. But I don't want to go on this point too much, because I've talked about it so much that it's like, I feel like talking about it more is just for naught, right? We already know about it, so I don't think I need to go crazy on that. Same with Standard Update. Standard Update needs to also come. I keep on doing that, but Standard Update needs to also come. It's like so crazy to me that like, we're not going to get Standard Update like on HI, I don't think. But I think a bit after HI would be fine, right? These 2 things need to be in February. Now next up, bi-weekly updates need to continue. We haven't gotten a bi-weekly update in a bit, and oh my god, I keep on doing that, and I think it really sucks. Okay, bi-weekly updates are one of the best things that this game has, and I think they need to continue it. Now, unit quality cannot decrease, because after Half Annie, we could definitely say there was a turning point, right? On JP, almost every unit after Half Annie had some sort of value, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Before Half Annie, there were so many skips, but after Half Annie, it's like, if you want to summon for X unit or Y unit, it's like, I can't stop you, right? That's the thing. like especially low spenders have a bit more of that freedom where free to plays don't, right? But unit quality needs to continue, because every unit that I see after half annie, it's like, damn, this unit is fun, or damn, this unit is like good, or damn, this unit has a purpose, right? So that's cool. Now, if they release more hype units in year 2 than year 1, there needs to be an increase in cubes, right? And the problem with this is like hype and strong kind of goes together, because every hype unit is pretty much strong. No matter what we say, it's true. Like, think of one hype unit that isn't strong. In my opinion, there isn't one, right? So that's the thing. Like, they even made Mahito good, and he's a fucking free-to-play unit. And it's like, if we look at it, I made a list. Let me pull it up, actually. I could probably get it. Because it's like, bro, there is so much shit that we could be getting. Like, for example, Mahito, Kenjaku, a new Yuji, a new Sukuna, a new Jogo maybe, a new Megumi that fought Toji, a Maharaga, a Meimei, a Choso, a Higuruma, right? It's all these things. Even a Mekamaru, right? All these things that are hype. But it's like, if they're going to all release that this year, or even at least half of that list, bro, they need to give us more cubes. I don't give a fuck how. Increase the daily amount. People, like, bro, 30 cubes a day, that's a tenth of a single. I get, in some games, over a single a day from dailies. This shit is actually preposterous. I don't get how that happens. So, no matter what, we just need more cubes in general, right? We do. Because spamming so many banners and only being able to get an X amount of cubes locked towards those events sucks. So, like, just a couple more multis a month would be good, please. Now, Global needs to cater towards the global audience and be more vocal about certain things. Now, what do I mean by this? Okay, so they brought JP over to Global and didn't change shit. What do I mean by this? For example, the JP audience is very more, I guess, paid friendly. And why is that? Because most people playing these gachas in JP have jobs. They have jobs, they work full time, right? Japanese people have a very good work ethic, right? But when they're on the train, this is the game they're playing. Guess why? Because it's very easy to play, doesn't take much time, right? It's very fun, casual gacha. And that's why they're fine spending. It's their type of game. They don't need to spend so much time. But the thing is, when they release it, same rewards, right? You know why JP doesn't put a high amount of actual emphasis on dailies? It's because Japanese players probably don't log in daily. They don't have time for that shit. You could tell this is a Japanese catered game. But it needs to cater towards the global audience. We could see they released it in global, massive lashback, right? So they need to definitely increase daily amount of cubes, right? Start releasing, I don't know, more content, right? Stuff like that, I would definitely say is kind of needed, right? These little changes are definitely needed. Communication is needed. Knowing that we're gonna get some type of change is needed. Continuing with the community sit-downs is needed. All these things, but they're not going to continue. But this is stuff they need to do. Now, readjusting daily cubes so people have an actual need to log in daily. Because right now it's like, you don't need to log in daily. What, for the 30 fucking cubes? That shit doesn't matter. Which I definitely think is bad for this game. Because having a need to log in, do something to play every single day is good. Is definitely good. Because people want shit like that. Even if it doesn't take long, they want shit like that to be a thing. I think dailies are very important in gachas, and JJK putting zero emphasis on it, giving 30 cubes out, is actually just horrible. So these are like the main things that I think are definitely important, all right? You guys let me know what else down below. This is what I personally think they need to kind of focus on. Daily cubes is a huge part of it. Just giving more cubes in general, but especially daily cubes and mission-based content cubes is super duper important. I just hope they could go through with it. We know that by November 2025, we should be caught up to JP, as we're going 2 times as quick. It would mean that we're going to be on our first Annie. It's going to be JP's second Annie, but we're going to be caught up in content. And from that point, Global should be a much more... it should be a better game, but then it's also going to show the problems where we barely get monthly cubes. And when that settles in, oh my god, there's going to be outrage. Because Global is going to be bad now and in the future, so just Global needs to kind of shape up and be ready for when that time comes. I just hope that some of these points could be mentioned or kind of addressed by then. I definitely think if they shape things up before Shibuya Arc comes to global, it could be very good for this game's future. Does not need to be a 10 out of 10 gacha. No one expects it to be. It's basically, in my head, just a very casual gacha that needs to definitely get better.